hello winter, and hello another great deal from your local Supergas. All new customers can get 2 45-kilo LPG cylinders for the price of one. That's right, 2 for the price of one. Call Supergas now on 13 78 72. Yes, we can.
Hello and welcome to Hunter Stadium for the reserve grade grand final between the Western Suburbs Rosellas and the Lakes United Seagulls. Last year these two sides met in the grand final of reserve grade and it was Lakes with a 19-18 victory over Wests. It was an incredible match and I'm thinking today is going to be another incredible match between Lakes, who finished first on the ladder this season, 24 points, 12 wins and 4 losses from their 16 matches, against Western Suburbs, who finished second on 22 points, just 2 points below them with 11 wins and 5 losses. Both of them scored over 400 points this season and had great defence as well. Lakes conceding 206 points this year, and Western Suburbs with the best defence in the competition with 178. We'll go through the teams in just a sec, but with me in commentary, as he was last year, Isaac Butterfield. And Isaac, are you as excited as I am for this one?
Oh, Benjamin, this is shaping up to be an absolute cracker of a game with Western Suburbs taking on Lakes United. We've seen Lakes win 2 games already this morning here at Hunter Stadium for the 2016 Grand Finals in the 19s and then open grade. It's shaping up here to be a great game. The crowd is slowly building, ready for first grade, but we've got another great game coming up right now. So, mate, I can't wait. It's going to be a cracker.
We'll just go through those team lineups. So for Western Suburbs, at fullback is Tim Holman. On the wings, Lachlan Buller and Luke Poolman, who actually played last year and scored a try in that reserve grade grand final. In the centres, Jackson Hill and Mitch Casey. At 5'8", is Jaram Haynes. Halfback Matt McLaren. In the front row, Luke Single and David Dryden. The hooker is Liam McKenna. In the back row, Jacob Ling, Dean McBain, and the lock is Tom Madden. On the bench, Clint Davies, Vico Pulavia, Reggie Saunders, Matt Casserly, Tom Wolford, and Leifau Fanua. So 6 on the bench for this reserve grade grand final, unlimited interchange, and Isaac's going to take you through the Lakes United Seagulls lineup.
All right, for the reserve grade, Lakes United Seagulls in the blue and yellow running on your screen. They'll be out here and they're coming out right now. Number 1 is Lee McClintock. Number 2, Jake Scott. Number 3, Nick Glow. Number 4, Jackson Davis. Number 5, Cal Guest. Number 6, Jacob Gagai. Number 7, Chris Shepherd. Number 8, Kirtley Hope Hodgetts. Number 9, Matt Calder. Number 10, Ben Sams. Number 11, Josh Hayes. Number 12, Josh Diaz. Number 13, Marcus Marsh. And on the bench is Brody Patcher, Blake Smith, Nick Newman, Matt Cooper, Brad Russell, and Matthew Bridge. And they are coached by Lyndon Shepherd.
I should also mention, yes, Western Suburbs, they're coached by Gary Thorogood. Also the coach last year for them. Referee for this afternoon's match is the referee from first grade last year, the first grade grand final referee, John Taylor. The touch judges, Brendan Callender and Dylan Clark. Does this show you about the depth of Lakes United? 3 grand finals today, a 14-8 win in 19, 18-12 win in open grade. They're back again in reserve grade. Unfortunately for them, they won't be in first grade, but what a season for Lakes yet again.
Lakes, they've come a long way from where they were only 5 to 6 years ago, coming last, not enjoying their football as much as they once were, but they've really turned it around. They've got a great coaching staff out there, and full credit to them. They really deserve to be where they are today. They've had 2 wins so far today. Can they make it a third? We'll find out in about 70 minutes. It's not an 80-minute game, 70 minutes.
Yeah, 35-minute halves. So the 6 grand finals the last 6 grand finals of reserve grade that have been played, Wests have been in 5 of those. They've won 3. Lakes have only been in 1. That was last year. They won it. So we're just about to get underway. It'll be Lakes in their blue and gold from left to right of screen. Wests in their red and green from right to left. They'll be running to the left of screen. Here is Lakes with the kickoff. John Taylor.
We're underway.
There's the kickoff from Chris Shepherd. Bounces a few times. He was in doubt before the match. He didn't play last weekend in their 32-0 win over Macquarie. Lakes, they finished first, but Western Suburbs actually knocked them over in the major semi-final, so they had to go through the preliminary final to get through to the grand final this afternoon. As here's a ball onto Dryden. He actually played last year and scored a late try for Wests in the grand final to get them within a point. It was 19-12 with about 50 seconds left, and he went over next to the post and gave Wests a chance. Out of dummy half is Lee McKenna. Goes across to Haynes, and then the short ball to McBain. It was taking it forward. McKenna back to Haynes, who pilots it high. In the air, Lee McGlintock underneath it, takes it nicely. 15 out from his own goal line, steps around a few and almost gets it back to the 30. He is a key man for Lakes today, isn't he, Lee McGlintock?
Keep an eye on Lee. He is an absolute flyer. If he gets into space, it's all over.
Josh Diaz with the run. 5 short. The 40-metre line in the middle of the park. And at dummy half is Matt Calder. Goes short away to Ben Sams. Up over the 40-metre line for Lakes. So not a bad set for them here.
No, they're working quite well, and they're in good field position here. Get the kick away, work their way down to the West line. West, also, their forwards are running hard. It's going to be a battle of the forwards out there today, as it always is in a grand final. So let's see what both teams can come up with early on.
Goes across to the lock. Marcus Marsh played 8 first-grade matches this year. The experience from Lakes in the first-grade department really shows. Both sides have had 10 of their players from this afternoon's match play first-grade this year. Although, here's a chance for West. Will come back to that down this near side of the ground. Great tackle coming across and just blocking in there was Chris Shepherd. Just took the power away from the run from the fullback Tim Holman. Goes away through McLaren and then the short ball to Jacob Ling.
He found space out of nowhere there, Holman. Sort of nearly had a little break.
Yeah, just going back to that, Isaac. So 10 players from each side have played first grade this season. 32 matches between the Western Suburbs 10 players and 48 between the Lakes players. As here's a ball.
Here's an
intercepted. Beautifully taken by Jacob Gagai. He's over the 40-metre line. He gets inside the 30. Tim Holman's chasing.
He won't catch him.
He's not going to catch him, and Lakes are going to score first in the grand final.
Wow. What a turn in the play. A beautiful intercept there from Gagai, and he was away.
We know his speed. We saw him play first grade this season. He's played 4 matches. He scored 4 tries in first grade this year. And he dots down for the first one in the reserve grade grand final. Lakes lead 4-0. And it's not even been 3 minutes.
Not even 3 minutes in. Lakes off for a great start. As you can see on the replay here, throwing that ball. Probably wasn't necessary to run that on the third tackle. But Gagai, speed to burn Holman, who almost made a break only a few moments earlier. Chasing Gagai, but to no avail. He flies down the touchline and scores in the first couple of minutes of this game. Great stuff.
And interesting to see there, Isaac. Jacob Gagai was defending, I think he was defending in the centre, so showing they are going to protect him. He is going to be crucial for Lakes in attack. He's the brother of Dane Gagai, plays for the Knights, won their Player of the Year this year. 5 tries in 11 reserve grade matches. And as I said, he's got a better record in first grade. 4 in 4. 4 matches, 4 tries for him. And it's going to be Chris Shepherd, who is the leading point scorer in the reserve grade competition with 122. 52 points ahead of the next best, which is Matt McLaren, the number 7 for West, where he's scored 70 points this year. So we'll see if Chris Shepherd can knock it over.
Obviously there in the Gagai family, speed runs quite well in the family.
We actually saw him score a runaway try against Souths in the match in round 10, first grade match out at Townsend Oval. And here's Chris Shepherd. 47 goals this year. Make it 48, 6-0. Great start for Lakes. Very similar to how they started last year's grand final. Try scorers last year for them in that victory Just check my notes here. Last year, I don't think I have the try scorers in last year's grand final, but last week for Lakes, Hope Hodges, McClintock grabbed one, Davis, Calder, and Smith scored, with Newman kicking 6 goals. Of course, Chris Shepherd out of the match. I do have who scored for Lakes last year. Ben Stone scored that try. Lee McClintock grabbed one. Chance Burgess with one of the tries of the century, and Chris Randall scored from a beautiful little grubber kick. So that was part of their 19 points. Jack Kelly, who kicked the field goal, he's been playing a bit of first grade this year, so not in the side, as it's brought forward now by Ben Sams, who actually played in the grand final for Lakes last year, the first grade grand final, as Nick Glow brings it up towards the 30-metre line.
There is certainly some feel in this defence out there. Both sides are flying out of line, trying to give it to their opposite number. It's great to see.
As they play the ball across to Gagai.
His numbers.
They've got space again on that far side of the ground. And this time it's Davis who's away. They're trying to march him towards the sideline, and they do so. Great defence over there from West. Lachlan Buller getting across. Not in his normal position, Lockie Buller. He normally plays hooker. He's played a bit of fullback, but he's on the wing today. He actually debuted in first grade last week in the preliminary final. Does it get much tougher than that?
No, it absolutely doesn't. A great time to debut, like we saw with the young fella from the Cowboys this week.
How well did he play the other night?
That was unbelievable.
Ponga. Was it Ponga?
Ponga.
What a name. What a name as well.
He didn't have a Ponga. He had a great game, so it was good to see for him and good on him. And I mean, to come into a game like that and perform the way he did, that's unbelievable.
So the scrum feed, we fed by Jaram Hayes. And West trying to bring it up over the halfway line. The halfway line there. Going to be in some good attacking territory by the end of this set. Here's Liam McKenna. The ball brings Dean McBain into the action. McKenna in at dummy half again. This time he finds Dryden. As I mentioned before, scored in the grand final last year. He came off the bench, but in this match he's starting this afternoon. Here's Haynes going to the line, almost slicing through. Good tackle from Hope Hodgetts. Out of dummy half was Jacob Ling. Cross to the far side. Stepping is Mitch Casey. Trying to bulldoze his way to the line. He's about 5 metres short.
Last tackle. They're in a good position here, West.
And at dummy half was Buller. Comes across to Haynes, who stabs a little grubber kick through.
Great kick.
Well, it's not going to be too deep. It was a beautiful kick, spinning almost parallel to the dead ball line. And Jake Scott had to take it over the dead ball line. And it's going to be a dropout for Lakes United. So West just applying some pressure here.
An interesting one for the ball itself out on the ground. The deck out here is actually quite hard. So the ball's going to bounce in different ways, possibly in ways that players in the Newcastle Rugby League competition aren't really used to. That could play a part.
Chris Shepherd looking for the sideline. It's been flicked in. Lakes will come up with this. What a drop. What a dropout that was. Spiralling towards the sideline.
That's fantastic play.
And Jacob Gagai goes short away. And Lakes are out of trouble. West will rue that.
Josh Diaz getting roughed up there a little bit. There's a penalty.
Jacob Ling was unable to keep it in for West there and threw it back infield, and Lakes came up with it. So Chris Shepherd is going to try and find touch. So 8 minutes gone here, the reserve grade grand final on Bar TV. Jacob Gagai with the opening try and intercept. Gets the runner play. It's brought forward now by Ben Sams for Lakes. It's Calder in at dummy half. Goes short away to Hayes, who's up over the 40-metre line. West trying to drag him back. Matt Calder, the dummy half. 4 tries this year in the 11 matches he's played, and a good hit. Coming up was Luke Single, putting a bit of a shoulder into Hope Hodgetts.
Close to a shoulder charge there.
Yes, very close.
But thankfully it was play on. No one was caused any harm there. Should be play on. Bring back the shoulder charge.
As here's Lee McClintock. We know of his pace. It's going to be put to ground. Just inside the 30-metre line. Comes across to Shepherd. Stepping back in towards the middle is Marcus Marsh. 3 tries for him this season. And 8 first-grade matches.
Can't be tackled. No one wants to get him down.
Comes across to Shepherd. Little grubbing kick. It looks too deep, and it just skids deep. A little bit of a damp surface with the rain that we've had overhead last few hours before kickoff, but don't think it's raining at the moment from what I can see.
No, it's quite dry out there, but the ground still has a little bit of moisture, especially in those corners. So those kicking, those attacking kicking options, they're going to be an issue for both sides here, but I'm sure they'll come up with something later on in the game.
These two sides have met on 3 occasions this season. Lakes have won 2 of those, and West have won the other. That was actually the most recent match in the major semi we spoke about before. West with an 18-14 victory. Big win, that one. Lakes won their first 2 matches, 10-8 in round 7, and in round 16, Lakes won 32-12. That was at Carl Oval. So it was a tight match at Harker Oval, but at Carl Oval, they really put the cleaners through West. Here's a charging run. Bring it forward was Tom Madden, who scored, who actually played in the grand final last year.
Offload, here we go, still going.
Pass away to McKenna. Goes wide and it's just spilt. And again, Lakes let off the hook by West. It's going to be hard playing expansive football this afternoon, isn't it?
Absolutely, especially with that moisture in the air, but that's the thing with grand finals. You never know what's going to happen. Something could happen. And we've seen throughout the whole day today, here on Bar TV, things have come from absolutely nowhere as there's a knock on and John Taylor calls the penalty 35 metres out from the Lakes line. They're going to take the kick for touch and they're back in attacking territory straight away here. But as you can see in grand finals, anything can happen, and I'm sure it will this afternoon.
So the tap for Lakes, taken by Calder. He goes short away to Sams. We mentioned he played in the grand final last year for Lakes. He has played 12 first grade matches last year. Lakes winning last year's grand final 24-18 over Macquarie.
Big tackle, great defence.
It's Calder. Dummy half goes to Gagai. Trying to bustle his way forward is Josh Hayes over on the left-hand side. Calder in at dummy half. Back to Gagai. Cross to Shepherd. Goes short and Diaz almost.
Looking for the offload. Diaz there.
Just poked his nose through, but well defended by West. Shepherd out of dummy half. Still Shepherd. He looks on the inside. McClintock. Here he goes. He can't get the offloader. Away there, Lee McClintock. Scything run from him. Comes across to Shepherd. They've got numbers out wide, but it's not his greatest effort with the kick and taken easily over there by Lachlan Buller.
Good defence there after the ball was caught. That was fantastic. Great take there, too.
It's just that pressure, isn't it? So next time Lockie Buller goes up to take it, he'll be thinking
twice.
About that, think twice, and could have a drop ball. So
dummy half there appealing for a bit of a facial there from the Lakes players. Good defence.
Don't mind a good massage, do you, when you're getting tackled?
It's always, well, not when I'm getting tackled.
It's free. It's free.
Free doesn't always mean good, in my experience.
Here's McLaren. At a dummy half. Goes short to McBain. He played first grade for Central last year. And Tom Taylor, who will be commentating the first grade grand final with Pete Jolly and the team, he actually spoke to Dean asking him why he wasn't playing first grade this year. As Jaron Haynes with some space. Lovely footwork. Steps inside, but McClintock with a great tackle. And Tim Holman at dummy half. Turns it back on the inside. Now Haynes again. We know he's twinkle toes stepping and well defended by Lakes. They're only 5 metres away on the final play. Comes across to McLaren. Gets the ball on looking for McBain, but it's gone backwards, and I'm pretty certain it's still going to be the last play. Shoved to ground there was Luke Poolman, and it is going to be a handover to Lakes. But yeah, going back to Dean McBain, Tom Taylor was trying to find out why he wasn't playing first grade this year, and it's because he just wants to play with his mates, Dean McBain at Western Suburbs. So
good on you, Dean. He's also got a great last name for football.
McBain. What a name.
It's fantastic.
Flying forward. It was McLaren, the little hooker, coming forward. I should say McKenna coming forward and putting the head on. As Diaz goes away to Ben Sams, driven backwards inside his own 40-metre line. Calder. And it's Diaz again with a run up towards halfway. But pretty even opening 14 minutes, Isaac. Really, West have probably had the better of the field position. and they're behind on the scoreboard with that intercept try to Jacob Gagai.
Absolutely, that's the only thing separating the two sides at the moment, and that came from an attacking opportunity from West down on the 10-metre line. It's an arm wrestle, and grand finals are often an arm wrestle straight through the majority of the first half. But we'll see what happens here for Lakes as they put the ball, Gagai puts the ball down the ground. It's anybody's game, obviously, this early on, but who will get the first points coming into the first half, or the first points in the later parts of this first half, rather, that may put them in good stead for the rest of the game.
It was a great kick from Jacob Gagai, wasn't it? Found the grass 5 metres out, and Tim Holman really had nowhere to go. Smothered by the Lakes defence. McKenna into dummy half. Goes away to Single, who brings it forward.
Here's Reggie Saunders taking it forward and knocking off a few players.
Yeah, Reggie Saunders onto the ground. Seeing a change for Western Suburbs. Just try and find out who has come off for them as Jackson Hill trying to burst through. Lovely ball away to McLaren. And he gets brought down by the coattails by Lakes defence.
Last tackle.
Got some space out here on the left. Little stab kick. Chasing after it is Pullman.
Oh.
Scored last year for them in that corner. Couldn't do so on that occasion. Another dropout for Lakes United.
Great kick. That was fantastically set up. They get the repeat set. That's exactly what West were hoping for. If they couldn't get the try, that was the second best.
The second dropout of the match. Here is the replay. Little stab kick chasing through. Clint Davies also on the field.
It's knocked out.
I distinctly remember you saying great hit by Clint Davies, actually, in last year's grand final from the highlights I was watching earlier. Played last year.
You're a bit of a fan of my commentary.
Oh, no, I was just listening back to the highlights so I could remember what happened.
Don't lie to the fans.
As here's West. Look at this run. Fanua bringing it forward for West.
That was a big
20 metres, I think he was back there on the run-up.
What's that Sri Lankan cricket player that runs in 600 metres every delivery?
It's like a Boeing 747 about to take off. There is here. Going into dummy half is McKenna. This is West's chance. They put so much pressure on Lakes. Now they need to take the advantage. Here's Haynes. Goes wide to Holman. Gets it on and spilled again. Mitch Casey puts it down.
There.
Gee. 16 and a half gone. It's still Lakes leading 6-0 here on Bar TV. And
playing around in the ruck. That could be a penalty easily from John Taylor, but he says play on.
I'm surprised it wasn't.
Very 50-50 call there.
And
shot!
Ben Sams.
That was fantastic from McKenna.
Liam McKenna is just flying up out of the line and putting pressure on, and Ben Sams, ball was too hot to handle for him on that occasion, and comes out, and West have got to take one of these opportunities, Isaac.
Have a look at this from McKenna. He absolutely flies out of the line. All the pressure on the world.
Ben Sams just had a little peek, didn't he? Saw him coming out of the corner of his eye.
That's great stuff. Absolutely great stuff from Liam McKenna. This is going to give you a chance to get your side back in the game here.
So Haynes. And it's McKenna from the back of the scrum. Goes to Clint Davies. Good solid defence there from the Seagulls. It was Nick Glow out there. McKenna again goes to Fanua. Not as big a run-up as he brought up from the dropout. Still a good run from him. Here's McBain across to Haynes. Short ball away. Can he get over the line for West? Spinning and turning. It was Jacob Ling.
A few little elbows there.
Here's McKenna out of dummy half. Can he get over the line? He can't. Just a couple of metres short. Haynes again. Goes to Fanua. Fanua, he's looking for a hole. Still going Fanua. We know he's strong. There's, 5 Seagulls players in there. So surely there's some space out wide. McKenna goes short.
Reginald's over.
And finally West get over. They've been pressuring Lakes for 18 minutes. And they get their reward.
Reggie Saunders over there. He'll love that, the big fella. That's a great try. They set that up perfectly. Aiming to go to the left. All the Seagulls will look into the left. And Reginald Saunders just sneaks over just near the corner. And West are back in the game with 16 minutes remaining on the scoreboard.
And it was that run from Fanua, wasn't it? We'll see here. Look at this. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and there was also a 5th Seagull was involved in the tackle. And look at that. No one out on the short side. And Reggie Saunders strolls through and scores his 3rd try of the season.
That was fantastic. You even saw Cal Guest from the Seagulls screaming at that tight defender there, almost the first marker. Come over, come over, come over. He didn't listen, and Reggie Saunders dives over for the first points for West in this grand final.
How much do you think that defence...
Here it is. Look at him screaming there in the white headgear. And then Reggie just flies over. Loves it.
And I don't think Cal Guest, being a winger, would enjoy Reggie Saunders running at him.
No, absolutely not.
That'd be the stuff of nightmares, I think. Reggie Saunders, he's played 5 first grade matches and even scored a try in first grade this year. So,
good on you, Reggie. All over it, mate.
The Western Suburbs now looking to level it up. It's Matt McLaren, so second leading point scorer in the competition. You can see the rain coming down now. Should be a kick he probably should put over, and he's put it wide, so that could prove costly late on in the match.
6 points to 4 now on the Bar TV scoreboard, brought to you by Top Better, getting the game. It's a great little grand final here, and the reserve grade, 15 minutes to go in the first half. That's what I love about grand final day. It's a shame it isn't live for everyone sitting at home, but hopefully we'll get that fixed up next year through the Newcastle Rugby League.
Well, there's the kickoff. Bounces down towards McKenna. And his defence is Fanua bringing it forward. But Liam McKenna's defence has been so impressive from West. I'm just wondering if he can sustain it. Running up out of the line. Here's a drop ball from West. So Lakes now, for the first time in the match, are going to get some field position.
If West win, Liam McKenna will be man of the match. Mark my words.
There's your prediction.
That's my
I think you made a prediction in 19s, I've heard as well, and you nailed it perfectly.
Mate,
inside pass.
Inside pass. If you get a bit of time, check out the 19s. It was a great call from me.
Here's the fullback on the inside. And Ben Sams bringing it up the middle of the ground. He's right on the 20-metre line in the middle of the park. Calder gets the ball to Newman. Wide to Gagai. And they're away down that far side through Jackson Davis. He's taken 5 metres short. Maybe make that 6. In at dummy half was Cal Guest. Got the ball away to Hope Hodgetts. And he's taken about 5 metres from the goal line. Surprising to see Lakes down here after so long. Stepping is Nick Newman again. Taking 10 metres out from the goal line. Be Calder in at dummy half again. And they hit West back again. Here's Jacob Gagai with a little kick. Luke Pullman takes it. It's going to be tough to get out of there. 5-6 Lakes players are over there, and Luke Pullman driven back. And Lakes are looking to get another try on the board, but they get the second best option, and that's get a dropout.
And the arm wrestle continues, with West coming up with a few in-goal opportunities down the other end, and now Lakes with their own. Let's see if they can capitalise here. With the replay here, Top Better getting the game as Gagai darts it in, and well picked up by the West player. Had to get down nice and low, but yes, as you said, the Lakes player's in there nice and busy, nice and early, as McClintock gets driven into the turf.
Yeah, West trying the shortest dropout, looking for the sideline as Lakes did earlier. As here's Nick Glow running towards the middle of the field, looking for a hole. Fanua swings him to the ground about 7 metres from the goal line. Calder now stepping, looking for a gap himself, was Marcus Marsh. He's only 6 metres out, but West defence is holding firm. Calder goes himself, tries to find a gap through the middle. West were awake to that little run. Believe it's the third for Lakes. They really haven't looked like scoring yet, but here is bulldozing towards the goal line. Just can't get there. It's the 5th now for Lakes. They really haven't asked too much of the West defence from the 4 tackles they've already had in the 20. All the way to Gagai, inside ball. It wasn't forward to Nick Newman. And he's going to be
called
tackled.
a changeover, John Taylor.
It's going to be a changeover.
All right, that's a let-off. They would have loved to have the ball back, but wasn't to be on that occasion. But now it's West's chance to bring it out as some big, heavy defence, but doesn't quite connect properly.
I'm just checking here. So Blake Smith's come onto the ground, the number 15. He's gone back to fullback. Lee McClintock's gone into the centres. So just wondering if we've got an injury here for Lakes. As here's McKenna out of dummy half. So it's the right centre. Believe maybe Nick Glow, who isn't out there. No, Nick Glow's playing sort of in the centre of the park. So we'll have to find out. Here's Reggie Saunders.
Great
getting
offload.
the ball away to McKenna. Like all good dummy halves, Stuart, he was right behind his front row, Reggie Saunders. And now out of dummy half, Tim Holman spies a gap in the middle of the Lakes defence and makes 20 metres. McKenna, cross to McLaren. Puts a kick into the corner. Doesn't look a bad one. It's going to sit up perfectly. Jake Scott's going to have a lot of work to do. And West driving back.
Great effort from West.
Beautiful kick from Matt McLaren, wasn't it? Into the corner, sat up nicely. And the third dropout now for Lakes.
The coach will absolutely love that. That's exactly what they needed. They've come back perfectly from what was a bit of a daunting task, keeping Lakes, which we know they can score points from anywhere in the field, from especially within the 20 metre of the West line there. And now Lakes, they're dropping out again. Let's see what they can come up with. You just saw throughout that whole set there from West, attacking where the forwards were being a little bit lazy as they now drop the ball out. Keep an eye on that, especially through the hooker as well.
West bring it back from the dropout. Taken just inside the 30-metre line was Lachlan Buller. He's had a good game so far. Here's Reggie Saunders.
Reggie.
A try scorer winding up for Western Suburbs. McKenna. It's been West's best so far. McBain now up through the middle of the ground. Makes about 8 metres as here. It's McKenna once more. Cross to Haynes. Stepping inside is Jacob Ling. 5 metres away. McKenna. Back to Haynes. Cross to McLaren. They're going to bring it out wide. And here's a short ball away. Davies gets it on. And Luke Pullman's done it again. 2 years in a row he scores in the grand final for West.
Great stuff from Pullman. They had numbers for about 20 or 30 metres out there. And the the Lake side didn't really capitalise on an opportunity. They could have had some numbers out there to cover, but it wasn't to be. And Pullman, great stuff.
And Western Suburbs, it's incredible to watch here, Isaac. They have had all the field position for 24, I'd say, of the 26 minutes of this match.
And here's the replay. Great stuff there. Sucked in 2 players and over in the corner, unmarked and untouched.
Yeah, Jackson Hill got the ball onto Clint Davies, onto Pullman. He's over in the corner. And it's going to be McLaren, who want to put this over. Because, as we know, in rugby league, possession turns, and I want to make a bit more of this scoreline, West, because they probably should be in front by a bit more going on the field position that they have had. It's Graham Stair, actually, the water boy for the referees. He reffed the open grade.
Busy boy.
He
Flat
is.
out today.
John Taylor, the referee for reserve grade. Did a great job in the grand final last year and doing a great job so far in the reserve grade match, isn't he, John Taylor? Experienced referee.
Absolutely. He's officiated a few of the games I've been involved with, and he's always very fair, so good on you, John. And West, again, capitalising on opportunities. Lakes haven't had a chance to really capitalise on where they've been. They've only had about 2 or 3 opportunities down on the West line. But
so you're going to put it over, Isaac?
He'll get it to the left of the post.
Good prediction.
Thanks, mate. I'm all over it.
2 from 2 today, I think. What was your other one earlier? If West win, Liam McKenna is the man of the match, isn't he?
Liam McKenna will be the man of the match, and he's proving to be on fire this afternoon, so good on you, mate.
So West with an 8-6 lead. Do you think Lakes will be happy with this? Down 8-6?
I think
after on the balance of the match.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, no one likes getting points scored against them, but for the amount of possession that West have had in the Lakes 20, this isn't a bad outcome for them. 8 points to 6. It's nothing.
Winding up and bringing it forward. Western Suburbs is McKenna out of dummy half across to McBain. The bright yellow boots. Lakes holding him down there. Almost spilt. There by Luke Single, but he held onto it nicely. Good catch for the front rower. Liam McKenna in at dummy half. Good meters here from West.
Absolutely. The forwards are getting forward as Haynes punches it down the ground, splitting the wingers.
On the 4th tackle was an early kick, and it's not a bad one from Haynes. And again, Scott has to go back and take it back on his own goal line. He brings it just over the 10-metre line.
Jake Scott is having a rough day down there. They keep pumping kicks down to him. Here's McClintock.
McClintock out of dummy half. Find out when West are back on the attack. See if McClintock has gone back to fullback, because we saw Blake Smith playing at the back moments ago. Nick Newman in at dummy half. Goes for a scamper. Ball on the inside. And West spinning him to ground about 29 out from his own goal line. There's the number 17 for Lakes, Matt Cooper. Famous rugby league name, that one.
Absolutely. It's Bridge hitting a tough tackle there.
Shepherd. Another kick early on in the tackle count. But it's going to be West with a field position. Here's Tim Holman charging it back, looking for a gap in the middle. And what a run that is. He's almost
Still
back to
going.
the halfway line, Tim Holman.
Tim
punching
Holman,
those
you are
legs.
on fire.
5 matches in first grade this year. 6 tries in reserve grade. But Tim Holman had a lot of injuries, did Western Suburbs, their first grade squad. So a few have stepped up. Here's a run from Ling. Look at this run from Ling now. West, I think that's 3 tackles now, and they're already 25 out from the Lakes goal line. McKenna gets the ball onto Luke Single, who's now only 18 metres from
He's
the goal line.
left side. Here we go.
McKenna gets the ball onto Glow. I should say Jackson Hill. There's McKenna. Back to McLaren. Now to Haynes. Haynes stepping and jigging and slicing through Jerem Haynes.
He's
and he's
over.
under the post.
Wow, where did that come from? Absolutely out of nowhere. Stepping, jiving, he's on fire. Great
Twinkle
stuff.
toes, Jerem Haynes, isn't he? Beautiful footwork. And West extend their lead now.
This will be a great try to watch in the top better replay here for Bar TV. This is great stuff, especially on the last tackle option. He went to the right. He didn't really have much going on, but he backed himself, found a little gap, found a little forward, and went straight through, as you see here on the replay, shifting it out wide, comes to here, realises there's not much going on, step, and through the gap.
Can we see that replay again? I just want to see, in a little bit slower motion, just have a look at his feet here. Here it is.
Boom,
Bang, bang,
boom.
bang. Look at that. How are you supposed to stop that? He was going left, he was going right, he was going left, he was going right.
And throws the ball
Here
at
it
the
is,
bloke's
here
head
it
who
is.
dives on top of him as well. Just watch this for the bit of a falcon after the try is scored.
Here we go.
And there it on his shoulder. That's unfortunate.
Oh, that was brilliant.
Great
from
stuff
Jerem
from
Haynes.
Haynes there.
Played, he made his debut in first grade, played brilliantly by all accounts last week in West's loss to South Newcastle in the preliminary final in the first grade. So his debut in a preliminary final. Here's McLaren from right in front. He won't miss that. And
He's
West
knocked it
lead
over.
14-6. And that's probably a fair indication of the possession of this match now, 14-6.
Absolutely. That's starting to get a bit worrying now. I mean, it's 2 tries in front. If you're the Lakes coach, you're probably down in the sheds already. There's 3 minutes to go in this half. You're probably down in the sheds already. You're getting some chairs to start to get throwing. Ready to fire the boys up for the second half. There's a whole other half of footy, though. Let's just wait for that.
Well, they did it last year, 19-18. But they were in front for most of the match. It was West came back late, but Lakes were in front for most of it. West bring it back from the kickoff. Up over the 10-metre line. It was Luke Singer with another
He's lost
run.
it.
It's been left behind, so a late chance now for Lakes before the break.
Little bit of a, not a stink, more of a push and shove. They were a bit unhappy with Haynes coming in there, a little bit late on the top of the hooker there. Kenner for Wests.
Well, on the scale of stinks, we saw a bigger one in open grade, so we've already seen a fairly big one.
It was more of a
No,
push. There was no punches thrown.
Bit of push and shove, yeah.
Bit of a push and shove. As you can see here with McKenna, he dives on the loose ball and coming in with the knees. Oh, there's not much in that. He throws a few little pushes in the face. He certainly did cop one.
It was Matt Casurley that spilled the pass. It was just a little behind him.
Yeah, McKenna's copped a bit of a late one there. Well, not a late one, but he's copped one in the ribs. He won't be happy about that, but it was nothing. There was no malice in that. He was just diving on the player.
So time has been called off with 2 minutes and 7 seconds left to go in the first half of the reserve grade grand final, live here on Bar TV. Before this grand final, so West have actually been in the last 5 reserve grade grand finals. So 2011 they beat Wyong 32-10. 2012 they beat Maitland 46-0. Luke Poolman scored that day. 2013 they were beaten 32-16 by Macquarie. 6 players from that match, from that grand final winning side for Macquarie, are playing this afternoon. Matt Hay, Isaac Briggs, Josh Meadle, Jai Alkin, Jordan Noble played that match. And in 2014 West beat Central 28-22. And last year they went down 19-18.
This will be a worrying sign here for West with McKenna still gingerly getting to his feet. He's now packing the scrum, but he doesn't look in a good way at all.
He's been out there the whole half from what we've seen, McKenna.
and been pivotal in their performance. So this will be interesting to see how he goes. He's got 2 minutes to get through this half. See how he comes out in the second half. I'm sure he'll be fine. He's a hooker of his stuff.
Chris Shepherd, wide to McClintock. He got on the outside of his man, holding on for dear life was Clint Davies. It was a crucial tackle. Shepherd gets the short ball away to Glow. After what's gone on in the first half, if Lakes were to score here, would be huge in the context of the game. Wide ball away to Smith, who's trying to get over the line. He's within 2 metres. They're marching him towards the sideline. West. He was on the human chair and they just drove him over the sideline. And that is a huge play from West now.
That's a great defensive set from the Western Suburbs boys. That's what they needed. They've got a minute. This half's pretty much over now. They're going to back the scrum. We may get 1 or 2 tackles left, but that's a great moment. A great moment of defence. Kept the coach very happy. As you see, they're shifting here. Probably should have hit the ground there. We couldn't really find it. They got underneath him and pushed him out.
What's the policy on a wet day? You bring in the sidelines about 10 metres, I think it is.
You don't pass it to the winger on a wet day.
Yeah, and on
Not
that
that
occasion,
I've ever passed to a winger.
he wasn't that close to the sideline, but they just marched him over.
There was certainly no opportunity for the referee to call held there.
Well defended by West. But every time Lakes get down here, they make an error or get driven over the sideline, so just not going the way they would have planned in the opening half. But the best thing is, he's a spear. Well, I thought it was a spear tackle. I don't know if
no penalty.
John Taylor saw that.
That's very interesting.
It was Tim Holman. I think there were some Lakes players in the way there.
He was certainly above the horizontal there. I know he didn't get put in the most dangerous position of all time, but he was certainly above the horizontal.
Here's Clint Davies making a run down the left-hand edge. Into the final 20 seconds of the first half of the reserve grade grand final. As McLaren turns it back on the inside. 3 and 4 Lakes players come across and put Dave Dryden to ground. Here's McBain. Gets it away. Well, I'm thinking Davies could get put over the sideline here. Puts it back in.
That'll do us. Oh, it's a penalty. Hang on.
Oh, it is going to be a penalty. Was it a strip? I'm thinking it was a strip on Clint Davies.
It was a strip. I'm surprised he didn't go out there. They put a lot of pressure on him. But they're going to take a little tap. What are they going to tap it on the foot and kick it out?
Well, I'm thinking you put it in. You put it over the sideline about 20 out, and then have a field goal attempt. Didn't get much on that, Jerem Hayes.
Well, I think they're going to go for a shift here. They're certainly setting up for one.
What do you say? You going shift?
Yeah.
No field goal. It is a bit far out. He'll take one hell of a kick. Knock a field goal over from here. So they go wide. Haynes.
Chips through.
Chip over the top, looking for his winger in Lachlan Buller, but it'll beat them all over the sideline. And that will be half-time in the reserve grade grand final. Lakes grab the first try. Jacob Gagai against the run of play from an intercept inside the opening 3 minutes. But since then, it was all West, and they lead 14-6 at halftime. Isaac, quick summary of the first half.
Western a commanding point in this half. They certainly did everything right. Repeat sets, putting it in the in goal, testing out the wingers and the fullback. Lakes have had a few little opportunities, and here's the first try we saw here from Gagai. That was a great try, and he speeds away. But that doesn't really give him much of an indication of how West were in that first 10 minutes, the first 5 minutes rather. West were putting the pressure on the line. That turned the game for a little bit, but then West got the run of the ball, and it's certainly going to be interesting for the Lakes players how they're going to come out of this half-time period. Will they come out and fire, or will they keep playing the game they've been playing already?
Well, this was a fantastic kick into the in goal. Had to be knocked dead by Jake Scott. Didn't have a tough first half. All the kicks were coming his way. He had to run it over the dead ball line on a number of occasions.
Absolutely. They just kept pumping kicks down there. And they saw this shot from McKenna.
That was a fantastic shot. From a little hooker, flying up. And here he is, Big Reggie.
Big Reggie, he loved this. Look at that, calling his marker out. Come out, come out, come out. And he didn't come out and try. Reggie Saunders loves that.
So that was 6-4. McLaren didn't put that one over. And then brought wide again by West. It was a lovely ball from Hill onto Davies, and then Luke Poolman for his second grand final try in a row. 2 seasons in a row. And back in 2012 we grabbed one as well. Here's Haynes. Oh, that
wasn't this a great try? Straight through, carving run.
Do you think it's not up there with Chance Burgess, but it's probably the closest we're going to get today?
As a front rower, there's nothing worse than seeing a smaller player hopping and skipping and stepping. You're just like, oh no,
Oh, there's no way I'm going to get him. It's just all over. And that's what he did there. He carved straight through, scared everyone, confused everyone, and he was straight through.
So it was Jacob Gagai for Lakes, and then it was Reggie Saunders for Western Suburbs, followed by Pullman, and then Jared Haynes with a little bit of magic. So half-time here at Hunter Stadium for the grand final of reserve grade for the real NRL. It's Western Suburbs, Rosellas 14 leading the Lakes United Seagulls 6 at the break. We'll be back in about 5 minutes with the second half.
Hello winter, and hello another great deal from your local Supergas. All new customers can get 2 45-kilo LPG cylinders for the price of one. That's right, 2 for the price of one. Call Supergas now on 13 78 72. Yes, we can.
Hello and welcome back to all the action from the second half of the reserve grade grand final. Live here on Bar TV at halftime. It's Western Suburbs leading 14-6 over Lakes. Lakes have actually lost 3 of their last 6 matches. Is it going to be a backdoor exit for them? They've had a poor run towards the end of the season. Is it going to continue this afternoon, Isaac?
We're going to find out in the first 10 minutes, I think. Yeah, this will really set the standard for the rest of the second half. How's it going to go? West have been leading this entire game through their defence and their kicking game. They've also, their second phase stuff has been brilliant. So let's see how we go as John Taylor gets us back underway.
Western Suburbs with the kickoff. McLaren goes high in the air. I should say Holman goes high in the air. And now charging it forward, Lakes up over the 20-metre line. Good run from Hope Hodgetts. Just a bit of renewed vigour from Hope Hodgetts, that run back. And they need it, Lakes. They really need some field position as well. So their last 6, 3 losses for Lakes. For West, they only had 1. So it's West, the form side at this end of the season, as Calder goes wide to Diaz, who dummied into the line. Was well tackled out there by Jackson Hill. Calder goes to short side. A step inside is Davis. Now across to Hope Hodgetts.
Good offload. That's what they'll need. They'll need some second phase stuff and field position as well. That could bring them home here, the Lakes boys.
As Gagai goes high. Some pressure here. Oh, it's been
Play
spilled and it's going to be
again.
6 to go. It is. Well taken by Cal Guest. Finally, they're down west end of the ground, Lakes. And they make it count this time. They've spilled the ball and been driven over the sideline when they've had these chances in the first half. Chris Shepherd, dummies, trying to find a gap. Slips under a tackle. Clint Davies coming across. As was Dryden as well. Trying to bustle his way over the line for Lakes. Here is McLaren. Back to Shepherd.
Here's Hayes. Oh, no.
Gagai.
He was winding up. He was ready to go through.
Still Gagai. He's only 8 metres away, centre of the field. It's Calder. Cross to Shepherd. He got hit
Big
after
shot.
he kicked it by Ling. It was a good tackle.
Hit hard there by Jacob Ling.
I was wondering if it may have been a shoulder, but he must have got his arm around, and Luke
No, that
Single
was fair.
brings it forward. It was good pressure. Just those 1%ers at the moment as McKenna goes short away to Casserly. He gets the unload away, and
Got a penalty here.
is it going to be
No,
a
knock
forward
on.
pass? Knock on? It is a knock on.
So that's hit the player, perhaps. We'll have a look on the... No, we will not look on the replay, saying our producers.
We just didn't catch that one, but
For mine, he knocked it back into the player, his own player, but the referee's seen it another way. So we're going to have a scrum here, and Lakes United have got a commanding position here. They could get some points on, and that'll help them through the rest of this game for sure.
Shepherd with the feed to McClintock. And spun and upended well. Well, it is going to be a penalty.
All right, we've got a penalty now.
I think John Taylor, again, I don't know if he saw it, but it was maybe a call from one of his touch judges. Spear tackle as we see the run now.
Just have a bit of a gaze
Here,
at this tackle.
Hayes.
McClintock gets
Here it was.
underneath him, and
Yeah, John Taylor did
Yeah.
say it. He did.
I thought the tackle earlier on was worse, but play goes on.
Yeah, here's Ben Sams. He's only 5 metres from the goal line. Calder. Out the back for Shepherd. Finds McClintock. Lee McClintock spying a gap. Cutting back on
He's
the
over.
inside. What a run from Lee McClintock. And Lakes are back in the match.
That's a fantastic try from McClintock. He did not stop powering through. He's just been smashed on a tackle about a minute earlier and just powered through. Wouldn't take no for an answer and got over the line, and all of a sudden Lakes United are within 4 points.
Well, we said he was going to be a key player this afternoon. We can have a look at the replay. We'll try and count how many players he beat on that run. He stepped inside. 1, 2, 3,
4, 5, 6.
They were coming at him. They couldn't get him, but Lee McClintock, what a try. Scored last year against West.
That's what
Scores again this year.
Grand finals are made of that type of stuff. And McClintock, you've just pulled off an absolute masterclass there and stepping and keep pumping those legs. Young kids watching this, look at him pumping his legs, and he's over.
was brilliant from him. He's the leading try scorer for Lakes this year. Not the leading try scorer in the competition. That's Lachlan Buller with 10. He's grabbed, well, he actually is the equal leading try scorer now. 10 tries. He's gone level with Lachlan Buller up the top. So Chris Shepherd. He's a sharp shooter. This is a big kick. It brings them within 2. Within a penalty goal of West, and he's missed it. So within 4 they are. But gee, these two sides have some cracking matches, don't they?
Absolutely they do, and this is certainly one of those. 4 points the difference in a game that's been one-sided, especially for the first half. So let's see what West can come up with here. They need a big defensive set, have them kicking from well inside their own half. That's what they'll want. And Lakes, they need to get down that other end and play their footy.
It's the best defence against the best attack in the competition. Lakes with the best attack, 460 points scored this season. Western Suburbs not too far behind. They had the second best with 416. In defence, West were the better side, 178. They conceded, and was Lakes a close second with 206. So a great season from both these two sides. Can Lakes make it back-to-back grand final wins? They're going to have to overcome a 4-point deficit if they're to do that. As here's Marcus Marsh, spun to ground, 41 out from his own goal line. Calder goes short away to Sams, who's up and over the halfway line, poked his nose through. And Calder back to Gagai, pilots it high. It's another good kick. Pressure on Buller, and Buller, he put on the juggling act. Took it well. Cal Guest was down there to put the pressure on him. He spilled it a moment ago. Tell you what, he looked nervous again there, Lachlan Buller, under the high ball.
He did, but his confidence will be back now after that.
Do you think there's more where that came from?
I think they're going to put a lot of pressure on him this afternoon, that's for sure. Gagai's picked him out as a potential ball drop. He'll keep pumping it up in the air and see how the young man goes underneath it.
Mitch Casey with that last run, and now Ling. But now Lakes are just really muscling up in defence. It's McKenna, McLaren, wide to Hill. He gets thrown onto the turf, 30 metres out from his own goal line. On the final play, piloted downfield, but McGlintock takes it on his 30. He'll be back up and over the halfway, McGlintock, and he almost comes out the other side, but what a start to the set this will be for Lakes.
They're in great field position. McGlintock put the afterburners on and flew straight into the west line.
Playing the ball is Josh Hayes. And at dummy half, Calder once more. And they play the ball through Hope Hodgetts with the headband on. The head bandage, I should say. And Shepherd got the ball away to Diaz, and it's been spilled by Lakes. So just that little bit of momentum lost for the Seagulls. They're only 4 points behind though.
Pullman's somewhere in that tackle there. Gets up and plays the ball now, 40 metres out.
It's the ball given on to Luke Single up towards the halfway line. Liam McKenna. We said in the first half how well he's played. He's been out there for the entire 43 minutes of the match so far with 35-minute halves. Here's Caserly, and he is just pushed backwards in the middle of the park. West across to McKenna. McLaren, ball back on the inside, almost finding a gap. West's
last tackle now.
Haynes with a nice little kick in towards the in goal. Well taken by Cal Guest. Steps looking for a gap, and well tackled by Lachlan Buller. And we're going to see the ball played once more.
They're going to play the ball. That's good. Good call, sir.
It's a very smart call there from referee John Taylor.
Great shot! Oh, look at that. He's hit him with the kitchen sink, the bathroom sink, the laundry sink, and another great shot on Hayes there.
It was Ben. No, I'm pretty sure it was Ben Sams there getting bent back.
What a great tackle.
As Cal Guest brings it forward, and now he's
try.
Lost it. And now West are muscling up in defence, and they force the mistake.
Hayes sitting there, a few words, bit of a push. Someone's got him around the neck. Play-by-play, there's not much going on in there. How are you? Not bad. Not much happening.
A time off called by John Taylor.
That's a great way to turn the momentum of that. Lakes had the ball. They were moving down the field nicely, and then 2 big tackles in a row changed the pace of the game. Here's a great one here from the west line, and then watch
hang
here.
on, the touch is in.
Hayes comes in, a bit of a push, touches in. I think they're talking about the push. I think this is a bit ridiculous.
So Hayes and McClintock. Hayes on the left of screen. McClintock, they are going to just give them a little bit of a chat. McKenna comes forward, along with Dave Dryden.
There's nothing in that, a push and shove. I don't know why they're taking so much care with it. They know they're not going to throw any punches.
I've got a job to do too.
God forbid someone threw a punch.
And after all
Imagine if that happened in a contact sport. My goodness.
Jarom Hayes is going to feed the scrum after all that. There's McKenna, the base of the scrum, to McLaren. Wide to Holman. Tries to get on the outside of his man, Tim Holman. Spinning and almost getting his way through the line. Lakes hold firm. McLaren.
Here's Hill.
Great run from Hill. Down the middle of the park. McKenna. So this would be huge if West were able to get over the line right now. Dummy from Tom Madden.
Trying to avoid the shepherd there. He just stops, takes the tackle.
Yeah, Luke Single just getting in his way. McKenna. Out the back to Haynes. Gets a short ball away.
Big opportunity. He's
over. Is Jacob Ling.
I believe that's Ling. Yes,
Jacob
it is.
Ling just trying to get the number plate. With the head here, Jacob Ling goes over, and that's a huge blow from West. It's 18-10.
Jacob Ling powering over in the corner there. That try comes from the great defence from West earlier on in the last 5 minutes. They were flying out of the line, big defence, forced an error through Haynes. They've shifted the ball left, they've shifted the ball right, and Ling, as you see, when he comes up with the ball here, he's there in the 11, Ling, after this tackle is made. He comes out, ball looks beautiful onto his chest.
It was a beautiful ball, wasn't it?
Right here,
Jarom Haynes.
perfectly weighted, and can't hold him up. Try time.
McLaren will look to make it 10-point score line. There's still plenty of time, but
10 points, 24 minutes remaining. It's certainly a commanding. It's not a commanding lead. It's getting close to a commanding lead. It's not quite there yet, but it's certainly one more try. This could be out of range for Lakes United, but we've seen stranger things happen.
So McLaren takes his time with the kick.
He's got it.
Hits it nicely enough off the post and over. 20-10 to West.
Supremely confident that was going over.
Perfectly positioned, precision stuff from West's number 7, Matt McLaren. The second conversion of the afternoon. Quickly taken the kickoff. Deep taken by Jarom Hayes. Haynes, I should say. And up towards the 20-metre line. Western Suburbs with the run through Luke Single.
Lakes will be looking for a big defensive set here if they can keep him within inside the 50 as an offload comes up to McKenna, looking for numbers.
Well, it was a great unload away from Jacob Ling, the try scorer. Just allowed Western Suburbs out of their own red zone. Single again. McKenna on the inside to Tom Madden. Up towards the halfway line from the West lock. And here's a penalty for West. Well, the match just starting to slip away here for Lakes. Tom Madden, he was one of the Western Suburbs players to play in last year's grand final. One of the 9 players who played in last year's grand final. They would be hurting. Lakes have had 6, and they've still got 6 players left from last year's grand final win. So West, with almost half their side, remembering the pain from last season. And it was a painful loss. 19-18, so close.
Absolutely.
McKenna on to Madden, now single. Almost up to the 20-metre line. Good defence in there from West through Calder. And Ben Sams as well. Experienced front rower. McBain. Hasn't had as much of an impact as what we probably thought. As McBain is now bringing it forward and almost slicing through was Dryden without the headgear this year. McKenna. He's got Madden short. Haynes
drops it.
Just had a little peek. I thought it was going to be a carbon copy of what happened about 3 minutes ago.
They certainly had an opportunity gone begging there for the West players, but...
is that the turning point for Lakes fans?
You know I like going out on a limb, and I'm going to say yes, that is definitely the turning point in this game, and Lakes will come away with the win. That may not turn out to be true.
Well, your predictions have been pretty good this afternoon already, so just got to keep it up. I'm just checking what the weather's like. Doesn't look to be raining at the moment, but there is rain around. There's Calder. It's the ball on, and Lakes now. They've got it all to do. Just over 20 minutes to play. And now it's Marcus Marsh.
So much rain, in fact, the pre-game entertainment, the skydivers, may be put off. There's an inside scoop.
Yeah, a bit disappointing. Would have been great to see them come into the ground as Nick Newman almost down and away on the far side of the ground. Here's Ben Sams, the experienced front rower. Premiership winning front rower last year for Lakes United. Here's Newman. With his kick, it looks like it'll be straight down to Holman.
Off the chest of Holman.
Well controlled by Tim Holman, and now he spies a gap and is up to the 30-metre line. Tim Holman.
Slow play the ball, appealing for the penalty as the crowd.
There's Luke Pullman, but look how condensed Lakes are. They really are condensing their defence. If West can spin it, Ling decides he'll go on to McBain. But even West in attack, they were a bit condensed as well, so couldn't take advantage.
Watch for the shift here from McKenna.
McKenna on to Ling. Playing on the other side of the ground now.
He's everywhere.
Leifau Fanua has come onto the ground on this right-hand side where Ling was, so he's just shuffled across. McKenna turns McBain back on the inside. Goes up within 30 metres of the goal line now. On the final play. McKenna up and over the top. It doesn't look a bad kick.
It's going to hold up.
I think it has gone. No, it is going to be a dropout. Another perfect pinpoint kick from West. Gee, their kicking game has been very impressive this afternoon.
In many ways, that's been the difference throughout this game. The kicking game has just been perfect all over the ground. I'd love to know the numbers on the dropouts because Lakes have been popping these ones out from underneath the post all day and just having to weather the defence, and they're getting very tired now with 18 minutes to go. It'll be very interesting.
It's taken by Jacob Ling. Goes to Reggie Saunders. He scored one this afternoon. He's bumping Seagulls off left, right, and centre, and he's up to the 20, I should say. McKenna to Madden. Steps off his left. Lakes with some strong defence on that occasion. McKenna across to Haynes. Goes flat to Ling. He's only 15 away, Jacob Ling. You'd sense if West got over here, maybe all over. Tom Madden through the middle of the ground. He wound up there, Tom Madden. Almost 17 and a half gone in the second half. McLaren. They've got some space out to the left. He turns it back on the inside for Mitch Casey. As here's a flat ball away. It's Vico Pulavea. Haven't seen him
and that's a changeover
in the match so far, and it is a changeover. Lakes will come up with the ball.
That Lakes defence is just unyielding against the West players here. They can't seem to crack through in the last 10 minutes. But they're certainly putting on the pressure. These guys are going to be tired here. Keep an eye out for the Lakes forwards in this set. See if they have any steam left to get themselves out of this sticky situation.
Yeah, and they've got it all to do in terms of field position as well. Inside their own 10. As Lakes bring it forward. But just probably come back to about 10 minutes ago when, well, yeah, it would have been about 10 minutes ago when Lakes got themselves back into the game through McGlintock. They went back down West End and made a mistake.
Here's an appeal for a penalty, and John Taylor's given the penalty for a strip.
Your Lakes, they went down probably about 10 minutes ago, made the mistake just as you thought they were getting back into the match. They've been given a chance here by West.
Absolutely, they are dangerous within field position, but they have to get that field position first.
It was 18-14 last time they played in the major semi-final. Marcus Marsh up over halfway for Lakes. If they don't make a mistake for the end of this set, they will be right on the attack here, Lakes United, with an attacking kick. They play the ball from Russell. Comes back to Russell. He steps inside a couple. And taken to ground. 29 away from the goal line. Calder. Cross to Gagai. Now Newman out the back. Oh, bouncing ball. Well taken out there. And it's Jake Scott who's taken to ground about 17 from the goal line. A couple of metres in from touch on the far side of the ground. Here's Diaz on the final play now, Lakes. Just over 15 left. Comes across to Gagai. Up and over the top. Oh, going up, and Cal Guest couldn't get to it for Lakes.
Can be knocked on
And
against Lakes.
Yeah, Cal Guest,
20 metre.
Yeah, Cal Guest just going up and knocking that one on. And yeah, West, they escape there. Again, Lachlan Buller didn't look confident under that high ball, did he?
Yeah, no, but he's been getting so much pressure put on him, and he just knocks it on there, comes off his chest. So much pressure.
It's so hard when you haven't got that momentum as a defensive play when those kicks are coming in. You've got someone like Cal Guest charging through with all that momentum in the air.
Through. And after so many issues he's had with Cal Guest this afternoon, no wonder there was a little bit of non-confidence going into that.
Here's Fanua. He scored 3 tries this season. Hasn't grabbed one this afternoon, but probably could have claimed an assist, taking 5 Seagulls players with him to ground and allowing Reggie Saunders to stroll through a gaping hole. And here is Reggie Saunders inside the 30 now. The Big West number 16. McKenna onto Hill. Cuts back in towards the middle of the park. The final play now for the Rosellas. Looks a little bit heavy, but it was taken by Cal Guest. Got through the opening line of defence, but then was taken nicely there by Mitch Casey. And here's McGlintock. He sensed McGlintock just needs to find something, a little gap. Can slice through for Lakes. They could be back in the match, but at the moment, West defence has been outstanding today.
Absolutely, and within the last 14 minutes of this game, Lakes need to strike, and they need to strike quick.
As Nick Newman put to ground, just trying to listen now to what the crowd are chanting down there. I think it's the Macquarie fans in their numbers.
There's a few gentlemen being escorted from the ground by the police, which is interesting. Good to see the Macquarie boys getting into it early.
Yes, I think a few too many even before the grand final has been played. But just a reminder, those earlier matches, Lakes won them both. They won the 19s 14-8 and the open grade 18-12 over Curry. So 14-8 over Central in the 19s and 18-12 over Curry in the open grade. They're down here. Under pressure, Mitch Casey brings it forward for West. I'm not prepared to say at all that Lakes are out of this. I wouldn't be prepared to say even with 5 minutes left, the way we see tries scored in rugby league these days is Jackson Hill up to within 15 of the halfway line. Here's Haynes. Goes wide to Buller. Runs straight into Cal Guest. Wrestles him to ground. 2 metres short of the halfway line. Casey out of dummy half. Goes to Haynes. Looking for the touchline. And Blake Smith at the back. So McGlintock not in the fullback position. Just trying to check where he is. He was pressing up in.
He'll be back in the
coming over to coming over to this left-hand wing at the moment. Let's bring it forward is Matt Bridge. 3 first-grade games for him this season. Calder across the ground to Marcus Marsh. Done some hard work through the centre of the ground as Marsh Called a wide. Newman, Gagai. He's been kept so quiet, hasn't he, Jacob Gagai? You sensed he would be crucial for them this afternoon. Playing some first grade this year, and with the speed he has, scored an intercept try, but...
Is that McKenna again flying out of the line, putting pressure on?
He's hurt here. Well, I don't think it is. It is McKenna. Yeah, it is.
He's hurt his shoulder, I believe.
He's put his body on the line again.
He might be just a bit of a knock there.
He's got the mouth guard out.
Let's have a look at that one.
He's flat on his back. And we'll
here's the Bar TV replay. Watch him. He's done this before. Oh, no. He's already out of that one. You see him flying there. A bit of a knock, I think. He's just rolled out of that one a bit.
Maybe
dicey.
It's a burner. Do you think it's a burner?
Here he goes. Flies out. He's caught one either in the head or the jewels. Either not a good sign.
Yeah, actually, I think you're right. I think he has caught one in the family jewels.
That's not great for McKenna because he's been very tough today. He's certainly shown a lot of balls, and now he's got one.
It's one of your best, Isaac.
I wrote that one earlier in the week.
As here is Marcus Marsh with the play the ball. On the final play, called it back to Newman with the kick down into the corner. Tim Holman after it. That was a very, very good kick. And Tim Holman, he will just get it back over the 10. Just over 11 minutes left in the match. West bring it out of their own red zone. And at dummy half is McKenna. He's recovered.
I believe that was a mousetrap.
Recovered. Yeah, there you go. And Jarom Haynes. A magical try. If you haven't seen it, check it out. That was one of the best individual tries of the season from him. Stepping through a few Seagulls defenders as Saunders up towards the halfway line. Good meters again from West. First tackle, they were 10 metres out. Now back on halfway. There's Haynes.
Stabbing kick from Haynes there, putting it down the ground.
And Cal Guest takes it nicely. Looks towards the wing, tries to get around Buller, and Buller upends him. What a tackle from Lockie Buller. One-on-one, put him on his back.
They have had a great little back and forth between each other all day. It's been fantastic to see two wingers going at it.
They have. They've had a great battle this afternoon. As Josh Hayes... Sorry, it's not Josh Hayes. The number 20, Matt Bridge for Lakes. Bring it forward. Newman wide to Diaz.
Oh, great tackle. Upended.
Put on his back.
Perfect. Bit of a hospital ball, though. I think there was a few.
Called up.
There's a few apologies there.
On a wet track, it's been West's defence that really has been the play of the day this afternoon. Lachlan Buller takes it nicely. He's had some moments under the high ball this afternoon. Well, that one he took superbly. What do you think, Isaac? Do you think Lakes charging up out of the defensive line there? I thought a few of them were offside, but
we've got a player knocked out there. He just went into that tackle very awkwardly. Went in with the wrong shoulder, I believe, and just caught one straight into the hip. And he's knocked. I believe that is Matthew Bridge. In fact, see what's going on.
It is Matt Bridge.
In the replay, just watch him. Does he go in with the wrong shoulder? Oh no, he was in there, but he just copped a hip,
wasn't it? Yeah,
certainly copped a hip. A bit of a slow one, and just the hip. He was out before he hit the ground, and he's just taking his time to do his feet gingerly. So he should be coming off the field, one would think. I'm sure he'd like to stay on, but with 9 minutes to go. And here he is coming from the field. He's not happy about it. Matthew Bridge, you've had a good half here, mate, so should be pretty happy with that, but it's unfortunate that his season comes to an end like that. But as you can see there from the pictures on your screen, it's he's very ginger coming off the field.
Yeah, Bridge not in a good way at all. And it's going to be Kurt Hope Hodgetts that's going to come on for him. Thought he was going to go on Kurt Hope Hodgetts, but he's not. Check, if they made the change there, Lakesy. He's just on the sideline here. The Lakes front rower is McKenna.
Well, I had a quick count then, and being a front row, I counted 14, so I'm going to go with I don't know.
I'm thinking they must have 13 out there then, Lakes. But Hope Hodgetts is definitely about to come back onto the ground. Haynes to Holman.
McClintock with an important tackle there, had to be made. Last tackle now, John Taylor with his hand in the air.
Haynes, another good kick into the corner. Smith going across, grabs it nicely, just inside his own 10, brings it forward. But we have spoken about how great West defence have been, but just rolling up the ground as well. Their forward pack has done a fantastic job this afternoon.
Absolutely, and being complemented by a fantastic kicking game from Haynes. He's leading the charge for the player of the game, absolutely.
And just thinking last year who Lakes did have in the front row, they had Chance Burgess, who was outstanding, and from memory they had Togatese.
Yes, absolutely.
Massive front rower.
Certainly missing that this afternoon.
Yeah, caused some headaches. Clint Davies with a good shot there. Look at this. So we saw before West 10 metres out, they started the set, they got up to halfway, and Lakes could only manage up to the 40-metre line. 27 and a half gone in the second half of the reserve grade grand final. 35-minute halves in this match, and it's West with a 20-10 lead, looking for revenge after going down 19-18 last year. 5 short of the halfway line now, West's. Run there. And McKenna.
Inside ball.
Lovely ball on the inside from Jerem Haynes.
Mitch Casey tackled there on the halfway line.
McKenna onto Hill. Rolling forward. Inside 40 metres from Lakes goal line.
7 minutes to go.
McLaren onto McBain. Puts a ground on the 30-metre line. Now 15 in from the far touchline.
Here we go high.
That's spinning and spiralling around. Blake Smith, another juggle. Takes it nicely in the end. He did well to hold on to it with Lee McClintock out in the centres. And he is unmarked out there on the left. So Lakes, you'd think, have got to get it to him. We know how fast he is if they can. Surprised he's not screaming for the ball. West defence is very compressed. It's Calder onto Gagai. Short ball away, and they're up to the 30-metre line, Lakes. Able to really make headway into this West defence. Even the inside ball to Smith. They're 35 away on the last play. Calder. Back to Newman. He tries a little chip and chase. Here's a great play from Newman. Nick Newman, is this the moment for Lakes to get back into the match? Wide it goes. Over in the corner, Jake Scott, can he get it down? He thinks he has.
This is
Does
massive.
John Taylor think he has?
Let's have a look.
You bet John Taylor thinks he does. And Lakes have set up a grandstand finish again.
Here we go again.
2 years in a row we've got a grandstand finish in the reserve grade grand final. But full marks, Nick Newman, with that little chip and chase over the top. He took a chance, and it paid off.
Nick Newman, that was fantastic. That's what they needed right there. They needed something. As you can see, takes the line on, chips and chase. The perfect bounce, catches it behind him. He could have thrown the short ball there. He knew someone was there on top of his player and shifts it out. And in the corner, a great try to Jake Scott, who's had a bit of a tough afternoon, copping a lot of kicks down to him, but he's certainly, it's all worth it now with that try.
It's a tough kick out in the corner. It's not Chris Shepherd taking it. Chris Shepherd's actually on the bench.
He's got it.
Gee, that's a good kick.
There's 4 points the difference in the grand final of reserve grade, 2016 grand final here at Hunters Stadium. This is fantastic.
Yeah, so Chris Shepherd, he didn't play last week with that injury. He is on the bench, so thinking he's picked up an injury. What a kick from the sideline. That man on screen, awesome stuff. And it's not done and dusted just yet. 4 minutes 40 left on the clock. Tim Holman with the kickoff.
Here we go. 4.5 minutes to go in the grand final. What can Lakes do?
Well, Blake Smith, and that was Nick Newman that knocked that one over from the sideline, the chip and chase, and then the sideline conversion to go with it. It's Calder A little bit of push and shove.
That is pretty dumb play there. Nearly giving a penalty away for carrying on.
Especially when you're in possession. It's not something you want to do at all, and especially in this point in the game. And all of a sudden, Lakes with a bit more energy. Marcus Marsh up over the 30-metre line. Calder across to Newman. He's running the show at the moment.
Here's
Newman.
McClintock.
Here's McClintock with some space. He's got Cal Guest.
Here he
McClintock
goes.
still going. Jarom Haynes with a great tackle from. And then who else but McKenna coming across and making the tackle to stop. McClintock getting back up. Here's Newman.
Inside ball.
On the inside. Lovely ball. And Brodie Parker.
Last tackle. What have they got? They need to shift it right.
Yeah, out of dummy half, Calder.
Long ball.
Gagai. They've got some space out there. Here's Glow. Still Nick Glow. Can he get the ball?
Glows
Get it
over.
done. And Lakes
What a
have scored.
try.
They have levelled it up with 3.5 minutes left. And
Wow.
Nick Newman's got a sideline conversion to potentially win it for the Seagulls. What a match, Isaac.
Oh, what is going on with the matches today? They're all nail biters. This is fantastic. Great stuff and great strength shown there at the end of that. McClintock made it happen from the start, and then this long cutout ball from
What
Gagai.
vision from Gagai there. Finds
Great
Nick
stuff.
Glow.
And Glow, big palm and power, and puts the ball down.
Look at the Seagulls. Nick Newman, he put one over from the sideline. Now, I'm just trying to find out. Tom Taylor's disappeared. I'm just trying to find out what's the go if it's a draw.
As commentators, we should probably know that, but I'm going to guess. I reckon they'll keep going.
5 minutes and keep going. That's what Pete Jolly's told me. So
Pete Jolly, my understudy in here, he's let me know that they'll keep going. They'll keep playing until they find a winner. You can't have a draw.
Pete's just out the back warming his vocals for the first grade grand final. Doing a bit of singing.
Sip of scotch. It's beautiful. It's an art form, Peter.
Nick Newman. Can we run the camera down onto the far side so we can get a good view of this conversion from the sideline? But Nick Newman, he stood up a moment ago. He's kicked 6 goals this year before today, so he's got 7 with that other sideline conversion. There's 1 minute 50 and counting.
Here it goes.
Newman, it looks like it's on
It's
target.
there. He's nailed
and
it.
He's done it, Nick Newman.
What a shot.
22-20. It's
Nick Newman, who are you? You're a champion. This is unbelievable. He's come on the field and changed the game.
This is a heist. Unbelievable. Western Suburbs.
The short one, it's not going to go 10. With 1 minute and 24 on the clock, it looks like Lakes could go 3 from 3.
Can you believe how Lakes have turned this around? 7 minutes ago, they were out on their feet. They were gone.
Absolutely
no chance.
out on their feet.
West were battering them. A little chip over the top from Nick Newman. The ball over to Scott in the corner. He scores. Newman kicks it from the sideline. Jacob Gagai finds Glow over in the right corner. Nick Newman kicks it from the sideline again, and they're in front.
With 1 minute to go, there's 52 seconds on the clock. 10 minutes ago, they were out on their feet. They had absolutely no chance. And now look at this. They're in front by 2.
It's Calder with the run. So
Two swinging arms in there now.
you'd have to sense, well, I'm not going to say it. I was going to say you'd have to sense Lakes would win it from here, but going on this game, you wouldn't think so. There's a massive hit from Mitch Casey.
He's taking his time to play the ball. 26 seconds to go.
There's Josh Hayes. They're going to come up, and there's McKenna.
They're flying out of the line
flying
now.
up. Well, here we go.
Almost a penalty. And no, he'll take the slow, play the ball.
And they would be frustrated, wouldn't they, Wes?
Absolutely.
They've really dominated much
10
of
seconds
this
to
match.
go. This is it, Lakes. All they need to do is put the ball dead, run away with it.
4
do something.
seconds. Back for Calder. Nick Newman. Who else to
Who
put
else
it over the
but Nick
sideline?
Newman?
An outstanding performance from Newman and an outstanding come-from-behind victory for Lakes United. 3 grand finals out of 3 so far today. And I'm going to say that was the match of the day so far.
Absolutely. That is fantastic from Lakes. Never say die attitude. And they were under the pump for 65 minutes. And somehow, in this last 5 minutes, they have pulled something incredible out and come away with the win for the 3rd win of the afternoon for the Lakes United Seagulls.
And the West players are blowing up at referee John Taylor here. This doesn't look good at all. West players pointing over to the far side, but take nothing away from Lakes. I didn't see anything wrong with the refereeing performance this afternoon. I thought he got everything spot on.
No, not at all.
And
John,
West, well, I think really West have only got themselves to blame this afternoon. They had it, 7 minutes left, leading by 10 points, and Lakes pull it out of the fire.
this is what we said earlier on. Anything can happen in a grand final. But what a great game. I'm glad I was here.
Isaac, thank you once again for being with me alongside me for the reserve grade grand final.
No worries,
And,
Benjamin. Good stuff.
Yeah, looking forward to next year now. So full time in the reserve grade grand final. Unbelievable stuff. Lakes United 22 have defeated Western Suburbs 20.
Another great deal from your local Supergas. All new customers can get 2 45-kilo LPG cylinders for the price of one. That's right, 2 for the price of one. Call Supergas now on 13 78 72. Yes, we can.